Hey everyone, my name's Deltarune and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are on Wuthering Waves, but it's not going to be a guide or a pre-form tutorial like normal. Today we're actually going to be going over a post that I saw on Twitter earlier, or X if you want to call it that, I don't. But it's this post from EgoStar, or The Real Slack Life. What are all the problems that you as a player have in Wuthering Waves that you want Kuro to fix? It can either be something small like movement or something big like endgame overhaul. Thought it would be a good idea to collect all your thoughts and have it all in one place. Now it's got 55 comments and I went through it all earlier and bookmarked some of my favorite, and they're the ones that I want to talk about in this video. Real quick, if you do enjoy the video, a like and subscribe would be appreciated, and there'll be a link to my Discord in the description if you want to join and hang out or even get your account reviewed. But yeah, let's just get into the first one. Cigar Chavan here. Now the first point they bring up is a lack of 4-star character release. I know it is a bit slow, but in my opinion, that's probably one of the lower priorities. I understand that the lack of 4 stars, especially for free-to-play, would be important, but for me that isn't a huge one. But his next point, removal of tuners completely, is totally something I agree with. It already costs a lot to upgrade an Echo to 25, but despite that you also then have to tune it, which costs another resource. I think that's ridiculous. I can't think on the top of my head of any other gacha game that does it. But yeah, I totally agree with that. I also agree with the next one, flight gadget available in old regions after getting 100% in there. I don't even think it should be 100%, unless there's a law-wise reason, which I don't know. I don't read into the law too much. I don't understand why we can't use the flight gadget in every location. It makes exploration a ridiculous amount easier, just getting from place A to B. And it would just be a really nice quality of life addition to the game if they did add the ability to use it in past regions. Better 4-star weapons, I don't honestly agree with. I know it's a bad first example, but the battle pass weapons are amazing. I know you have to pay for them. But the character weapon banner, you can't lose the 50. It's very possible if you want a character to save up for 2 patches before them and get him and the weapon. I did it for Phoebe and Brant. You know, Brant, there he is with his. There's Phoebe with hers. Not to mention that you get a lot of the standard banner pulls, which you can use on the standard weapon convene. These are normally only about 15-20% behind the 5-star weapons. For Brant, it's a bit different because of how specific his needs are. But for other characters like Changli, I'm pretty sure her signature weapon is only about 17% better than the standard weapon convene. You can do this as many times as you want, I believe. So yeah, I do disagree on that one. Friends Ecstasy here mentions the 1.0 intro and story. Now, I played it pretty recently making this account because I had an account on NA, I switched to EU, this is my EU account. I didn't really see much wrong with it, especially with the skip button. Like, if you don't enjoy it, you can skip it. If you do enjoy it, then, you know, I'm not the guy to talk to about if it needs fixing, so we're going to skip that. But where they say make characters with higher skill flaws and complex kits, I'm not really that bothered about how complex they are. I think it's fine, there's no need to overcomplicate it. But going off of that, I think that the counter-attack and dodge feature aren't really utilized enough. I was playing Genshin recently and I really missed the dodge and counter-attack. But there's sometimes in this where a counter-attack just won't register. Or a parry, I should call it. I mean the parries. And it just seems a bit finicky. I definitely think maybe the window of time for the counterattack should be increased. Or at least make it so the characters have a different animation for when you try to counterattack. There's a lot of times, especially if I'm using a character like Brant, where I'm in this like animation for a swing when the prompt to counterattack, parry, pop up. It would be cool if I click now, that it would still register me as trying to parry and he maybe cancelled the swing animation. So I do think that is something that Kuro games could consider. Daku here says, have each boss farmable 3 times a week instead of 1 boss. I totally agree with that. A trouble that I had last week was that I needed the talent upgrade material, the Netherworld Stair. But I also needed the ones for Phoebe, the Sentinel's Dagger that you get from the Dragon boss. I do think it's dumb in a game that already limits you with the energy system, that the little energy that you do have, you can't actually use. So I totally agree with that point. Skins for wings and gliders would be cool, especially if they do add it for every region. If they were like paid, then it would be a bit of a scam that I can only use them in this region. So I definitely think that it goes hand in hand with making them accessible everywhere. Maxwell Reformed, I hate the enemy AI. It's too passive. Sometimes they look at you for 30 seconds before attacking. The parry mech also sucks. Wish you just had a dedicated button for it. That's a good idea with what I was saying earlier. If mid-swing I could click like, you know, one of my mouse buttons, if I could bind it to that, that would be cool. But I disagree with what he's saying by the enemy is too passive. I totally disagree. I know that sometimes the animations and like the rotations that they go through the abilities are a bit weird, but especially with Brandt, how he can just get, you know, cancelled out of his attacks if he's mid-air. There's one boss specifically that I've been farming in the Black Shore, the Fallacy of No Return. Now, I'll be fighting him with Brandt and I'll just constantly get kicked out of the animation because he's running at me swinging the hammer. So yeah, I just disagree with that. But let me know what you think about that in the comments because, you know, that's just my opinion. Kaiser here says claim all button for events. I totally agree, especially recently with this fishing one. I played it for about 2 or 3 hours without claiming anything, and I had to go through each of these tabs. I had to go through, I had to go through these ones as well. It would have just been nice if on this menu, there's a little claim all button here. Just get it all done, get all the rewards, you know, nice, quick, and easy. They also said UI. I don't really know what they mean by that. I think the UI is fine. I've never saw a problem with it, but, you know, let me know what you think about the UI. Now, this is a cool one. +5 echoes absorbed from farming in the open world. That would be very cool. So what he means by that, not the rarity, not the 5-star, but how this upgraded is +25. What they're saying is it would be cool if you could get +5 ones to unlock the first trait. Let's use this Flawless as an example. I have this locked because it's an attack % one on the Lingering Tunes. Now, if I have a character that needs it, I will probably take it to 5, see what the first substat is. It's HP. I probably won't roll that. However, if I got HP immediately, then I wouldn't have had to spend the upgrade material to get it to +5, and I wouldn't have to have wasted any of the tuner. So I think that's a really cool idea. Redo Act 1 to 3 of Jinzo and let players replay it. And that's not something I really care about. And to be honest, if you're just playing for the story and want to replay it, then I don't see why you don't just make a new account, you know? Or even watch YouTube videos on it. I think it's cool to experience once, but after I've experienced it once, I don't really feel the need to replay a story. That's cool if you're more into the story aspect than me, then you'll probably have a different opinion on that, but yeah, that isn't something that interests me personally. Yeah, that's all for the video. I just thought it was a pretty cool Twitter post, and I'm curious if anyone wants to comment on this video and leave some opinions about what we've talked about, or honestly, just leave a comment on anything that you would like to see Kuro change. But if you did like the video, like and subscribe would be appreciated, and have a good night. See ya.